Hello, listeners. Welcome to season 2 of the Masters Decoded podcast. I am Manish Merchant, the chief decoder. I want to thank you for the overwhelming response to season 1. Your feedback and encouragement led me to bring you season 2 of the Masters Decoded. The season will tap into how technology, artificial intelligence, and other socio-economic factors have impacted my guests' careers or passions. My next guest on today's podcast is Dr. Anamika Chauhan. She got her PhD from Indian Institute of Technology, Mumbai in knowledge management. Currently, she is a life coach, speaker, author, and runs her own company, Magnificent You. Her two books, Training Needs Analysis and Knowledge Management, both have been bestsellers. Dr. Anamika's most famous trainings include Magnificent Mornings and recent one, Memory and Money. Without much further ado, let me get on with it. Hi, Anamika. Welcome to Masters Decoded podcast series. Really glad to have you on board.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
I know it is not morning right now, but one of your program is Magnificent Morning and your focus on coaching.
Yes.
Uh, why Magnificent You? Why that concept and why that company name which you run today?
Yeah, thank you, Anish. So, yes, starting with Magnificent You, this company was founded by me in 2011. And at that point of time, when I was looking at a name as a coach, when I was just starting, I was like very, very early on in my journey, okay? And no branding concept I had. And I was just thinking, what will be the purpose of this company ultimately? Because it is not just B2B, it is also B2C. And when I'm talking to individuals, it would be like entrepreneurs, professionals, students, women. So even if I'm doing my work, what am I trying to, what is the objective? What am I trying to do with their life? Or what will be their objective when they come and meet me? So basically, they want to have a larger than life experience because already we all are living, learning, growing in our own style, in our own pace, right?
Yep.
So that's how the Magnificent You came is something which is going to be bigger and a better picture of they themselves. When they look at themselves, they feel magnificent. They feel the whole idea of being better than who they were. And this is going to happen with a certain shift, like a kind of a paradigm shift, just by one push. So that's how the Magnificent You came in the picture, and I stick to the name. And
Nice.
because Magnificent You is the main company name, now every other program that I have under this banner, they have the first name as Magnificent, followed by the theme which I'm putting up together in that program. So now coming to the second part of Magnificent Mornings. Now this was recently born. This is just 1 year old baby. And this was born because of lockdown. So after my vacation in the month of March, when I came back to Bombay, I just celebrated my birthday and I came home and I was seeing the lockdown around me. And this lockdown for 1.5 months, like by April, it was actually depleting my energy. It was like affecting me mentally, emotionally in a way that I was getting lazy because everything came on us. We had no house help, everything we have to manage by ourselves. And the routine was completely like gone for a toss. And though I'm an early riser, but because of this lockdown effect, I was waking up late. Late to late as in 6:37. That was my late.
Okay.
But
Okay. For many of us, it will be early in the morning still.
yeah, I fully agree to that because my friends still pull my leg and like, oh, you woke up late, so how late it was? And I said, I end up saying, admitting it is 6:37, and they really pull my leg for that. Namika, don't talk like that. So,
Yep.
so yeah, but my ideal, waking up early in the morning timing is 5.
Wow. Okay.
And so 5 a.m. I like this period of time where it is so silent and I can wake up and I'm doing my stuff. Now, at the same time, since I've been coaching, I was getting a lot many calls from people time and again around relationship, around people not feeling good about themselves, people having this fear of losing their job. All of this was, giving me a scope and an area that I should be having something where people can at least come, sit together, give themselves a push, And
Yep.
if they have that willingness, if they have this desire to wake up early in the morning, we all can sit together and we can learn together through Zoom.
Hmm.
Previously, I was conducting a lot of sessions in person. I used to have this
Okay.
place and I'd go and take a session, or people coming to me and taking their coaching sessions. Zoom was not the a part of my ecosystem.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
and
we'll talk about this technology, Zoom, how it has transitioned you from personal coaching. And I've seen some of your seminars in person. It's larger than life. There is grand. You are animatic. You are full of life in that. And now with Zoom, you are restricted. So we'll talk about technology in some of this conversation today.
yes, yes, yes. So that's how Magnificent Morning was came in the idea, and the idea was to make it very economical so that anybody and everybody can join if they have the willingness to wake up early in the morning. So
Okay.
in my program in Magnificent Morning, I have covered three types of versions. Now I am in third version.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what have those versions been?
So the first one was about go more towards what is life's passion, purpose, how to practice discipline, and so on and so forth. The second version was completely digital detox, which was a super hit version, super hit. Like people loved it, they adored it. And the third version now, which I'm running, it is about money and memory. So
Wow.
how now why the reason I bring these different versions is because I at least gave I can say easily a 9 months of digital detox experience to people.
Wow.
And still when I see the lockdown is getting extended, but since things are changing, I can see that people are now willing to learn more about money concepts, as it is cryptocurrency is so much hype. Though I don't teach cryptocurrency or anything around it, but I can see that people are willing to practice speed reading or
Yep.
take care of their memory, mindset, all of that. So that is why I changed the version in this month.
Very
So
interesting.
today I finished the first batch of the third version
Okay.
with 540 people.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's an amazing feat. Congratulations.
Yeah. And the second batch starts from tomorrow, and I'm having their prep call at 8:30. So I always take a prep call with them a night before, so that they're prepared. They have to wake up from Monday.
You are super busy, and
Yeah.
we'll talk about how you manage your busy schedule. But b- Magnificent, you didn't start as your first job or as your first career. Before this, you were a lecturer, and prior to that, you've done variety of jobs.
Yes.
And after your MBA, and there's one thing interesting which I really want to tap into, which I'll share is I want to because that's been going on in my mind. You started your own company, and you also decided to do a PhD along with it.
Yes.
Uh, People take break from their work to do PhD, and you were brave enough to do PhD. And that PhD was not a scientific; it was a scientific topic, but it was a topic so vast.
Yes.
It was on knowledge management, and so how did you manage PhD and your own running your own company? Right, it's like managing two babies at the same time who are like twins.
Oh, I had a third one. I was actually a mother then.
Oh wow. Okay. So you are definitely a multitasker. So how did you manage your work,
Oh yeah.
studies, and your child?
So yes, I would not take the credit that I managed everything. I had a lot of support. So I believe a lot in delegation.
Yes.
So honestly, when I started my career when there was a recession. Recession had just
Wow.
hit, which was in
Okay.
2009.
Yep.
And I was lucky enough to get a job in my hand, and which was giving me a very good salary. And that was in Delhi, and I was working for a paralegal firm that time.
Mm-hmm.
And then because of marriage, I came down to Bombay and I got
Okay.
settled here. And here I did a few jobs which was not making me very happy. Deep within, I knew that I had to get into education, teaching field. The
Okay.
reason was my parents are from teaching background.
Okay. Interesting.
So, the teaching is in my blood. So even when I'm coaching, I would love to teach, like
Okay.
not that I would try to just question, but I would always try to give them a little bit of push and a, holding hand kind of experience.
Hmm.
So now because of that reason, I got into lectureship and
Okay.
I started teaching. I taught for 1.5 years. And that is where I realized that if I do a PhD, it will help me to, give me a rocket boost
Okay.
to do something better in a better package in a better college and stuff like that. But I was also not enjoying correcting papers.
Interesting. Okay.
Taking lecture was fun, but the one thing which was mundane was correcting those papers and not able to give 100% marks, even if the child has done well,
Hmm.
even if there is no
Interesting.
grammatical, even if there is no grammatical mistake, even if the handwriting is beautiful, because the university norms doesn't allow.
Hmm.
In theory paper we can't give full marks.
Yep.
Yeah, so now these things I personally don't like it,
Okay.
because it makes me like, oh, why so, it gives a question in my mind. And hence I decided that even if I can teach, I don't have to be academically inclined.
Yep.
And that is why, though I got into PhD in IIT Bombay, somehow it so happened, my husband one fine day he gets this dream that he wants to start a school, a preschool,
Okay.
and he's into merchant navy.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now that he wants to have this dream of his own to be fulfilled, definitely he can't be doing the running the show.
Yep.
And hence a very loving, caring wife. I say, okay, give it to me.
Okay.
I'll do it for you. I don't mind. Let me try my hand as an entrepreneur. And that's where the entrepreneur Kira, stuck with me.
Okay.
And parallelly was my PhD, and parallelly was my school. And I also was pregnant, and that happened in 2013. I have a baby as well.
Wow.
So when I started running this school, I started from the very scratch. Even if there was a nail on the wall, I knew why that nail is there. What is the purpose?
Wow.
So scratch. Okay,
Hmm.
not just curriculum, not just fee structure, not just hiring teachers, not just talking to parents. Everything was
Wow.
in
Okay.
my in my skin. I was living and breathing, and my child is here. Sometimes I'm just feeding her also, and I'm having a meeting with vendors, the uniform guy and the book vendor and stuff like that. So all of that I have
Okay.
experienced. And it was a 4,000 square foot school, so
Oh, wow.
huge school. We had 100 students gradually.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. You still have it?
No, we shut it down after 5 years
Okay.
because it was on lease and the cash flow was getting very tough. The rentals are pretty high.
Yep, they are.
Yeah. So we had to shut it and we sold it off to a very good company. So we just
Okay.
took some money and then we left it, and because it was coming out as a business which was too much of pumping in cash.
Yep.
The returns were tough to come. So those 5 years of entrepreneurial experience also gave me a very good understanding what kind of person I am as an entrepreneur, how to do a business if it is a service oriented business, and what are the ways of making it profitable,
Mhm.
at the same time maintaining a benchmark of adding the quality.
Hmm.
Now in this process I was also counseling, coaching parents, young parents. When the situation used to be that if I'm taking this PTM,
Okay.
keep the report card aside, let's talk about relationship now, because both the parents are angry with each other.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm sure teachers always have fun stories about parents, right? So I'm sure you will have a lot of fun stories
Oh
amongst this.
yes. Oh yes. So in-laws hassle is there, and the woman wants to work, and she's not getting that opportunity to work. So I could see myself that I have been majority of the time more inclined towards life skills, business skills,
Hmm.
and I really enjoy when I'm helping people with these two things. And hence the moment I finished my PhD, I decided to brand my work and just to portray myself as single one person who is a coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, running an institution which was pretty big as 100 students, and I'm sure you had staff, you had teachers, you had support staff, to completely being a one women army
Yeah.
and one person army. And I'm sure you will have your team around you right now, but you
Yes.
don't have that same scale of people required. Today, you can work with gig workers to help you, support you with whatever support you need.
Right now I have
So,
big team. Right now, I have a bigger team and a larger
Oh,
team. Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
No, your business is really doing well. So if you have 540 people coming for that one course, I'm sure, and every time you're doing more courses, and more speed to you, you have a larger organization which you create through this entire process. But, you know, you completely shutting that entire big business to starting from zero again and
Yes.
having it's like you're being an entrepreneur 2.0 in that journey,
Yes.
being a coach. So how was that experience, like
Oh, that was
restarting?
yeah. The restarting and the process of leaving school was a very emotional, turmoil because it was like a baby. I mean, I have seen that place. I used to go to place at 9:30, and I had a routine,
Yeah,
driving down along with my daughter sitting at the back and carrying food and everything. I had a routine. Now suddenly, when I'm stopping the routine, I don't have this. The kick that okay, I have to
yeah.
wake up and I have to go, I have to pack my bags, I have to get ready, I have to talk to people. Suddenly I used to feel that, oh my god, how can I stop myself from doing it? you
Wow.
know Self stoppage, like how can I just stop, how can I just tell my daughter, okay, we don't have a school anymore, we are not going there, we'll figure out another daycare for you, maybe, so that you can engage yourself with other kids, because she has been growing up around kids, big kids
Yep.
to small kids. She has grown from 3 months to like 5 years, though like she has a school of course, but then still she had a routine as well.
Yep.
So changing that routine was quite a hefty, like playmat on myself. What am I supposed to do next? And
Mm.
it also helped me to work upon my own skills to be more thick-skinned.
Wow.
And this, I also tell like in fun way to all my students when I'm taking Magnificent Morning, like in life, this is what it is. The school, when we say that, oh, we are learning in life. This is what
Yep.
life is about. Life is not like we'll go to a fete and we can buy a teddy bear and we can buy a lollipop, and that's what beautiful life is. No, beautiful life is this,
Yep.
because here is where we are learning how to stop yourself from not doing what you like doing because the external factors are not supporting it, or money reasons were there.
Hmm.
And I had this big question mark. I made 1 CR, I'm losing 1 CR. What
Mm.
is next?
Mm.
And it also, second part was, it was coming a lot on my own skill. Like,
Yep.
don't I have it in me? Or do I don't? And then the third part was, oh, I'm a PhD from IIT Bombay.
Yeah.
So what am I supposed to do next? Am I supposed to go back to colleges and start giving interviews? But I have been an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I have been on the other side of the table interviewing other people. How can I, switch the table and go back to that process? In fact, I even tried that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Just to see if I really don't have it in me. And, possibly I started assuming that possibly I'm not a great entrepreneur. Let me go back to job.
Hmm.
And I got a job and I stayed there for 2 days.
Okay. You need not tell the company, but what was the job all about? Was it lecturing again?
Yeah, it was relevant to college, of course, and it was more to do business development. And because they saw that entrepreneur, side of me, so like you can teach as well, but then help us get some students.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes. And the only reason I left it because I had no free hands, which I was used to of.
Yeah. So, Anamika, just building on this, you were doing coaching counseling as part of your school to parents and young parents, and
Yes.
maybe individual person also may not be, both the parents might be available. But when you now, that was free, literally, because you were
Yeah.
doing that as part of school and school experience.
Yes.
Now, when you go and say, okay, now you have to pay me if you want to talk to me,
Yes.
and I will coach you and I will help you through this entire process.
Yes.
How did you go about getting your initial set of new customers who were very different than what your school customers were?
Of course. Great question. So now, as a coach, even when I'm coaching people to become a coach, I take this pricing and asking clients to pay you is also something which has to be done in a very subtle way so that we don't sound like consultants,
Yeah.
and at the same time, not a saleswoman or a salesman. And at the same time, as a person who would like to add value to their life. So, how to do it? Now, here there is a certain style of doing it. I started doing it first by helping people taking one or two couple of free seminars for one-on-one, and even because I was doing so much of work. And the one thing that helped me was I was adding a lot of value on my social media profile.
Okay.
Means to say that I was doing videos, doing something or the other, and used to come on YouTube. Because I was adding, posting it on Instagram, so at least people can see me, how I look like, how I talk like, how do I sound like, and if people can connect with me, they can come and work with me. Because as a coach, I'm a product, I'm a service, I'm a brand.
Yep.
I don't have anything to show. I only give, like, I can only give you experience, and that has to be done only when we are talking and sitting together. And maybe we'll have some techniques like writing or painting or something like that, but that comes much later, right? So that was one style of doing it. Second, I took support of social media platform to have, like, ad campaigns. So that actually helped me. The Facebook ads has helped me, Instagram ads has helped me to get me paid clients. And I'm a strong believer of never doing any work for free. Because I never take any work for free from anybody.
Yep.
So everybody's, even like 5 minutes or be it 1 hour, it is special. People, when they add value or do anything, like even if a plumber is coming to my home and just doing an inspection, they expect some payment in return, right?
I agree.
So same thing goes with us. Now, people often consider that, oh, you are just giving advices. And that's where I tell them I'm not.
Yep.
You have to notice how I'm talking to you. So, the style of coaching, because I was thoroughly coached, so I knew how exactly I have to put myself across. So I have to constantly show them that mirror. This is what the difference between a counselor and a coach is. Yeah.
And you just spoke about one thing, which is a very interesting perspective. And we spoke before we started recording. Everybody cannot be coached.
Yes.
And everybody is not coachable.
Yes.
Now, and you made a statement that, oh, you give an advice. And I'm sure you would have got a lot of people saying that, right?
Yes.
Because in their mind, they are not open to being coached.
Yes.
So the question is, how do you break through those walls and barriers which people may have?
Yes. Oh, I have rejected many clients.
Okay. Interesting.
Yes.
What is your rejection rate then? What is your rejection rate?
It's less, because now it has become pretty less, because now I have become more vocal about it. Earlier, I used to at least sit and listen to them, but now first attempt is itself that, you might get rejected. So better watch out.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't want anybody to feel rejected at that point of time. But the reason why I personally reject clients, because I don't see that humbleness. Often, it takes a lot for a person to learn from another human on how to live a life. Okay, so if that sense of humbleness is not there, if that sense of learning and unlearning is not there, which I can gaze it, through the conversations, then I can easily figure it out that, see, this won't go well. There's no point taking money from you, getting the contract done, and then 1 or 2 sessions later realizing that, oh, we are not getting anything out of it. I should be enjoying my profession since I'm doing it with a lot of passion. So yes, everybody is not coachable. And I always coach people, even in my group sessions, that, there will be some people who are just coming to judge me, just to see that, oh, she's an IIT, let's see what kind of stuff she's teaching. Yeah. And I'm aware of that. I'm pretty much aware, it's a very realistic thing to do. And I'm also aware that there would be many other coaches coming and attending my session. And I'm pretty much aware of that also.
Okay. That's interesting.
And I always am very vocal about it. So I make an announcement immediately. I know every session, every group coaching session of mine, I have at least 10 to 12 coaches attending my session or signing up for my session. Okay. Yeah.
So do you allow competition to be part of the strategy? Because coaching is a fierce competition.
200%. 200%. Because I don't look at them as a competitor. The reason why, because if they are coming and attending my session, that means they have seen something in me which they don't have.
Very interesting perspective.
If I have to attend some other coach's session, which I do, they have to be somewhere there.
Yep.
Then only I'll go and attend them, right? Then only I'll give my time to them, right?
Yep.
Right? That is number one. So I feel good about myself and I don't feel scared. I have so many like fellow coaches, same thing that you told me, asking me, oh, Dr. Namika, how can you be so like, open? You give so many things. Like in my 1 hour session is so enriched with values and topics after topics and formulas and discussions around things. Don't you get scared that people will steal that idea and they will apply it in their thing and they will get benefit out of it or they will
Yeah.
replicate it? I said, go ahead, do it. That's what I
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that I'm still giving the basic.
Yeah.
Part one is that. And
Yeah.
second, it is their karmas which is going to affect them, not me.
Yep.
I'm still unaffected. I know how the universe works. And if I'm working with people's life, I'm fully aware how the spiritual side of me is going on and how the karmas is going on. So
Yeah.
I'm concerned about me and my child because it's futuristic.
Yeah.
What I'm doing or what I'm creating is not just going to affect me, but also to my future.
Yeah.
Right. So that way I'm completely fearless, fully fearless. Yeah.
And you spoke about spirituality as part of this concept because of the coaching, and you have your spirituality side, which is stronger as well. And in this conversation, before we started recording, you spoke about entrepreneurship journey is almost a spiritual journey where people are trying to find themselves rather than trying to build a business. I mean, definitely building a business is a bigger thing, but finding themselves also what they are and who they are.
Yes.
Did you find who you are and what you are? Question for you.
Easy, very easy. I'm a fearless person, and my attributes are more on being independent and working with independent mindset people who carry that kind of mindset. I can only get along with them. I'm a person who values financial freedom, and I will always work with people who values their financial freedom.
Very interesting. And I really love that concept, by the way. I can tell you, I've been on an entrepreneurship journey. And, the more I think about it through this conversation, there's a thought which is running in the back of my mind that what journey am I on? What purpose am I trying to fulfill as part of that?
Right. And to answer one of your question, which I missed out, like not everybody can become a coach. That is also true. Not everybody should even try to become a coach. These days, coaching has been propagated by some of the people in our industry that anybody can come and join, and you can make millions out of it, and it's an easy work. And there is no such thing that you have to go for a proper structured training. Well, that is not true. That is a complete bluff. That's the complete, like we are giving them money to become coaches and they are making all the millions and we are just losing our money. And also the question mark will come in us, why am I not getting clients? Because I can only call myself a coach when I'm coaching people.
Yep.
Right. So yes, that is one side of our coaching industry, which I hate it completely. And I'm doing something about it. So in this process of entrepreneurship, I have also realized that I have turned into a person who doesn't like something, then will not just sit at it. Like, bad. No.
Okay.
If it is bad, I will do something about it.
So have you turned down people saying that you cannot be a coach?
Yes, I have told them on their face.
Okay.
Yes, I don't mind. I don't feel shy about it. And if I see that, you don't have a thing to be a coach, don't try it. You rather try something else in life. It's okay.
Yeah.
And when people come to me to become a coach and if they are not coachable, I tell them, see, you're not coachable, at least not with me. Maybe you can try with some other coach, but not with me.
Should a coach get a coach?
Yes, I do have a coach as well.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. Why not? Every coach should have a coach. Should. Because everybody, see, even if I'm a coach, yes, my job is to make, so I always say that coaches are the king makers.
Oh, nice. Okay.
We are not the kings. So we are not worried about the throne. Who sits on the throne is not our problem. The person who is sitting on the throne, we have to take care for them.
That's okay.
So we are not worried about, as a coaches, I tell coaches, first of all, remove this fear that, you will never have money in your hand or you'll never have somebody to help you. You will always find people, who want to be leaders. So you make them leader. Go ahead, be a leader. But we will always be at the backstage. We should not try so much hard to take credits from people that, tell me how good I am. No. We are the ones who are actually supposed to encourage people so that they can give credit to themselves for their job and they should be doing it by themselves. That is what our job is as a coach. So that's one aspect. And second, every coach, when they start their journey, they have to focus on their career as well as a coach. Every entrepreneur also should have a career as an entrepreneur. What I have noticed, people try to do everything together as if this is the only year to perform. That long-term vision is missing. That idea is missing, that you don't have to jump into niche so early. At least first go broader, talk to as many people as you can, and then decide what kind of niche you want to get into.
Yeah.
So yes, these are the things needed, when person is starting off early.
Switching gears a little bit, you spoke about technology. And I did mention that when I have looked at some of your YouTube videos, some of the sessions which you have done, the short videos, you run into the session. And as I said, it's grander than life. People are all motivated. They're all dancing. You have exercises.
Yeah.
And you can really connect with people in person.
Yes.
Now, pandemic has forced all of us to connect with other human beings, not whom we know or we know from distance, through technology like Zoom or Teams or Google or all of that. Has it impacted your coaching process, or has it evolved your coaching process?
It has impacted in a better way. I have been able to connect with many people together from across India. Otherwise, I was only restricted to the place-wise. If I'm doing a session in Bombay, only people from Bombay will join me. If I'm doing a session in Pune, only people from Pune will join me. But now I've got people from Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka waking up early and attending my session. So the reach has become very big. And I think because of that, impact has become very, very huge. I even get love from Pakistan.
Okay, that's good. So building on this further, so while you're using technology to connect, but you spoke about you being a coach, now you have to do branding, you have to message out, you also have to manage a relationship. What other technologies do you use to orchestrate all of this? It's almost like you're running an organization which is Magnificent You.
Yes. Technology is a great enabler, of my system. I'm using AWS. I'm using, having my own learning management system where all my videos are there on my website. So, I don't have to take a support from any third party. So, inculcating everything together, I'm greatly thankful, first of all, that we have so much to add value and give that professional feeling, because it is professional work. So it is not a very random, small scale work, which I like. So, the larger than life experience is also there on my website, is also there on my, profile on social media. So I think I'm pretty satisfied the way it is going because of social media and Zoom and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Putting you in a time machine capsule right now and taking you way back. Okay, that little girl who was in Delhi studying all of that, you said teaching was in your blood, but was teaching your career option, which you were aspiring to be?
Yes, I was clear about it. That I will try my luck in corporate for nearly 1.5 years, just to take a flavor of it, just to take a taste of it. And then definitely I'm becoming a lecturer. So I was clear I will become a lecturer professor.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And you now uprooting yourself from Delhi to coming to Mumbai, which is two different, like at least in people in India will say, and you would agree, that Delhiites and Bombayites are two poles apart. From a culture and from all of that. And then you trying to get your job, was it easy?
I loved Bombay when I came during my summer internship. I love the vibe of the place. People are very friendly, very smiling. In Delhi, we don't have such thing. People are very nasty and rude. I can say that. We don't feel safe in Delhi. I even had my brush with certain experiences which was not making me feel good about me. So yes, having said that, I love Bombay for being so culturally good with women.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about opportunities, Bombay is tougher than Delhi. So I had to see how my salary came down when I started looking out for job here in Bombay. And I was
Hmm.
pretty devastated over there because Delhi was a high paying job and
Yeah.
Bombay just became 50% of it. So I was really, really devastated. And if at all I was getting an offer, I had an offer, but it was too far. So
Yeah.
my husband was like, no, 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 forget about it. You don't bother yourself so much into traveling because ultimately it will affect you,
Yeah.
health wise. So I could see that even if I want to do it, I cannot do it because of
Hmm.
the traveling purpose. So yeah, that way
Okay.
it's not a happy thing, but it took me a lot of time to get to be where I am today. Now, when I'm making a money, I'm making good money, so I'm happy now.
Good. Great. And more power to you. Uh, Building on, because you mentioned husband. Now you have been working. You had two entrepreneurship journey, uh, and it takes a lot, candidly, in our culture, in our society. And I'll say it loud here: it's not easy for women to stand up on their own feet,
Yes,
and especially do two entrepreneurship journeys back to back with a child, carrying a
yes.
child in the womb and in your hand after that. So, how has family supported your journey and this entire process?
Family has been with lot of tips and turns. Like any other family, even my family is performance based.
Nice one.
So
Okay.
even with my parents, it was the same case. Very tough parents. They're like, oh, we are the principal of a school, or I'm a principal of a college, and they're single child. You're supposed to not just pass but be topper. And I was
Okay.
failing in maths.
Okay.
So, I have dealt that performance pressure in my family before marriage.
Hmm.
And I have seen that performance pressure even in this family. Like, I can be very
Yeah.
vocal about it. My husband will completely agree to that. I could
Yeah.
see that the moment I got admission in, like, in IIT Bombay, how the attitude of some of my family members changed. In laws.
Okay.
Oh, IIT and Bahu.
Nice. Okay.
So I think I have gone through all that phase, and I today I can say that it actually made me a good person. And why I'm not taking it only positive because I'm a positive person or I'm born with B positive blood group, but also because I have come to a realization that if the life is giving me. So I often discuss this with my Magnificent Morning students. That suppose I become ultra rich and
Okay.
I start giving you guys a bed. I start sending a bed to your house because you have joined Magnificent Morning program. Okay. And
Hmm.
the bed is full of like flowers, the beautiful flowers. Will you leave that bed and attend my session?
Okay.
And of course, the answer is no, because it's such a
Yeah.
beautiful bed. Forget about the Magnificent Morning. I would prefer to sleep more, right? But then, what if I, hide a particular thorn on
Hmm.
that bed? And it becomes so pokey, you just can't have a comfortable sleep. So will you not just get up and attend Magnificent Morning because you have something else to do? You've got a plan in front of you to do something
Yep.
else. And the answer is yes. Same thing is inapplicable in my personal life as well. So yes, the life was not a rosy picture, and I had multiple thorns. The only thing that shaped me as a person who I am today, I had a choice. The first choice was I can go back and I can pick those thorns and keep myself busy into it. Like, removing the thorns, validating myself, convincing people, this is who I am, please accept me, this is what I want
Yep.
to do, please understand. Or I had the second option that I can just do my thing, okay, and keep doing it and forget about what people are saying.
Hmm.
And today, having said that, when I was starting this entire coaching process with boom on social media, and I knew what I'm going to get into. I know I'll have eyes from different types of people on me. People might come and randomly comment random things on my social
Yep.
media profile picture, on my picture, on my video when I'm going live. Random men will come to random, conversation, which is not so cool.
Yep.
So before that, I had a sit down conversation with my husband that, okay, now this is what I'm getting into. And if I'm going and becoming a public figure, so, people, I will have such kind of experiences. I will be having a conversation with men also to coach them, and I will have that personal level of discussions with them. Are you okay with that? If you have that trust in me, and if you think I can pull it off, then I'll continue. Otherwise, I won't. Because of course,
Yep.
for me, the priority is my husband and my daughter.
Yep.
Luckily, he trusted me and he believed in me, so everything is smooth.
And that's good news for you. And you're talking about these conversations and personal connects and people in today's social media that are called trolls.
Yeah.
But let's not talk about the bad things. Talk about the good things in this
Yes.
scenario.
Yes.
Are there moments or a moment which you think about and say, that's what I'm doing for? And this is whom I'm doing it for. So
Yes.
you
Yes.
want to share one of that?
I had it yesterday. So I do
Okay.
this Instagram live every Saturday at 7 p.m. and
Hmm.
Facebook live as well. Together I do it. So yesterday I was getting this video request from a lady. She wanted to join me in the live session.
Okay.
I wasn't aware who she is. I said, okay, let me just, add her and see if we can have a conversation. I was already giving a lot of question Q&A to, lot many question answers which I was receiving. So she mentioned that she has never attended any of my program, but she is a big fan of me. And
Okay.
I was so moved. I said, like, how come? And she said, my friend is attending your Magnificent Morning, and she is so inspired by you that she has started her own online coaching now.
Hmm.
And she has got a vision in her life. She has got a purpose in her life, which she was not having because of this lockdown effect. And she is so positive because she's so inspired. I have started following you, and I'm so inspired by you. Like, and I'm so thrilled that I can talk to you personally. It is amazing. I was like, wow.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. I'll just share on the similar line. Okay. Something which, since you spoke about the lockdown. So I'm a bad sleeper myself. I
Yeah.
don't sleep well.
Yeah.
And I used to travel a lot before this lockdown. And
Mhm.
at that time, when I used to be internationally, I would wake up at 4:35 because, you have meetings at 8 o'clock in the morning when you're in the US or UK or everywhere. So you have to be ready before that. So I would
Right.
wake up, go to the gym and all of that. But
Mhm.
this lockdown kind of put stress on me.
Mhm.
And if you remember, last year we connected, the two
Yeah.
of us on LinkedIn. And I've been following you the entire Magnificent Morning since then.
Yeah.
And somewhere it has motivated me personally, even though I've not attended any of your coaching program,
Yeah.
to get up early. There's a conscious thought in my mind. If I want to do something for myself, like you said, don't worry about the thorn, leave the thorn and get out.
Yeah.
Uh, it's motivated me personally. So thank you for what you're doing.
Yeah.
So
Thank
and that's why I was eager to bring you on to say this to you during this conversation that you
you.
are impacting people's career for
Thank
sure.
you. Thank you so much. This makes my day. Thank you.
You're welcome. On that thought, and I definitely there are a lot of people who will be listening, will be encouraged through this conversation. But especially for women,
Hmm.
since you've been through different journeys, your highs and lows, what will be your advice to them when they are thinking about restarting their careers or going on to an entrepreneurship journey? What will be your advice to them?
Let go of regret and guilt.
Okay, that's a different deep thought. Can you explain a little bit further for them?
Sure, sure. So, regret of not able to take correct decisions at the correct time.
Hmm.
We will be making a lot of mistakes. Even I make mistakes sometimes, even I have those moments where I have to, take some solid actions or solid
Yep.
decisions. I feel I wish I had not taken that step, and I wish I could have saved a bit for my business. Business would have not suffered a bit more there, also I could have done that. That regret is not going to help me grow. It's
Hmm.
done, it's done. Damage is done, done. Now find out a better way of doing with it,
Okay.
so that we don't repeat the same mistake.
Yeah.
Guilt, relevant more towards family life. If
Hmm.
I am into an entrepreneurship business, definitely I will not be able to be that, devoted mother.
Hmm.
So I cannot take that crown on my head
Yeah.
that, oh, see, I'm a devoted mother or I'm a superwoman. I don't want to be a superwoman. This is also a superwoman syndrome, which many women get affected with, that they can do multiple things and they have to be everywhere and they have to be for everybody. So that guilt of not able to spend time with child should not be there. The best part is find a way out, and there are structure which I also teach personally. Have a proper time management mechanism, know how to have a conversation with the child. Within 10 minutes, you have had a massive impact with the child. The timing, the duration, how much we spend with our family members doesn't matter. The quality is what we are adding into their life is what matters.
Yeah.
So these are two things which I want every woman to understand. Let go of this guilt, okay? Because even kids will get bored of you. Let them do their thing. You do your thing.
On that thought, that's an amazing thought. I'll definitely share some of these clippings with people whom I know. Hopefully, they can forget about the regret and the guilt.
Right.
No, Anamika, this has been an amazing conversation. I have personally learned a lot and taken a lot.
Thank you.
So thank you for your time. I know you're super busy with your multiple schedules, but really appreciate you taking time out, and it's been a fun conversation.
Thank you. I really enjoyed your questions. Seriously, they're very much on the point, and they actually help me to speak up. So thank you for asking the right questions.
You're welcome.
Thank you for listening in. And we close yet another episode of Masters Decoded. If you've enjoyed the episode, please, you can help us out by sharing it on social media. I would personally appreciate that. It's how we can reach more listeners, and the more listeners we have, the more awesome guests I can get in touch and convince to participate in these conversations that are a joy to have for me, and I hope they are a joy for you to listen as well. You can also help a lot leaving reviews on iTunes or your podcast service of choice. Reviews are surprisingly helpful in supporting the podcast to get to more listeners. If this episode has intrigued you, I would request you to subscribe to the podcast to stay up to date and get notified to the future episodes. With that, I bid you and see you in the next episode.